and that comeback, that actually derailed their season right there because they were prohibitively ahead.
Yeah, that play lasted, what, like 20 seconds?
Yeah, it lasted about 20 seconds. So back to his money and back to your guarantee issues. So he got 5 years, $230 million. It was 189.5 guaranteed. So he didn't get anywhere near a full guarantee, a la Deshaun and Deshaun Watson, obviously, in Cleveland, got 230 guaranteed.
But he got more guaranteed than what he had on that original contract going into this season. And now, Skip, he tears that because he got it at the end of his third year. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, this happens. They're not giving him no guaranteed contract. They're not doing no new deal. So he struck while the iron was hot.
He did.
They begrudgingly gave him that money because, Skip, they was like, he had to take down everything off his IG page, discard everything that was Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
And then they put something in his clause to basically, it kind of embarrassed the man.
It did.
And then they had to backtrack. No, he studied. Well, then why you put that in his contract then? If he studied, why would you put that in his contract?
Well, I said they took it out.
Exactly.
Why would you embarrass him to start with?
Right.
You wanted to send a message.
And why would he allow them to put that in his contract?
Correct.
But that's neither here nor there, Skip. I just hope that the thing that helped him get to this level was his tenacity. He knows he's all, and somebody, Skip, in his scout, when he was coming out of the draft, he's always been small. It's not like all of a sudden he shrank.
Yeah, I think Kingsbury said that. Yeah.
It's not like he shrank once he got to college. He's always been a small kid. Now he's a small man. And at 20 years of age, the likelihood of him having a growth spurt is not very good.
Yep.
But, Skip, he's going to have to attack this because his legs are everything.
And to your point, you could really use this year to literally, sort of effectively grow.
Yes.
Maturity-wise.
Yes.
In sort of vision-wise
right.
of what it looks like from afar, because he's never been forced to sit on the sidelines and watch the way he's going to be forced to watch.
Right.
And I love your point about go ahead and spend those hours studying as well as rehabbing because you're going to have time on your hands.
Yes.
One other contract of note was the Dak contract that he got. But remember, Dak fought back, he and his agent, and decided, well, all these other contracts are 5-year deals. They said, no, we want a 4-year deal. Yeah. So he took lower, it's 4 years for 160, but it's 126 guaranteed, but it still averages 40 a year. So Kyler averages 46 a year, and he got Deshaun's 46 a year.
That about to be up there here.
40, but he's going to be up
again.
Yeah,
in his 20s. That could be for a new contract in his 20s.
I think it'll be right at the end, but I think he'll still be 29.
But Dak broke his ankle. And although Dak broke his ankle, he was somewhat mobile. Dak wasn't as reliant on his legs as Kyler Murray is.
No.
And you see, Skip, Dak doesn't run nearly as much, and when he runs, look like he got a little hitch in his giddy-up.
It does. It disturbs me because Jerry at the first of the year was campaigning, I want to see him carrying the ball more. And you saw the 9-yard scramble in the last drive.
Yeah.
I mean, he pulled it off.
Yeah.
But
I thought he was pulling a sled.
Well,
the football was really heavy. One of the two things.
Yeah. So where does this leave the Arizona Cardinals is the question, because it feels like Cliff Kingsbury has been on the hot seat.
Yeah.
And maybe
they just gave him a contract extension. He's on the contract through 2027. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 5 years.
Ooh.
The general manager, Kime, he's on the contract to 2027. That's 5 years. You about to eat that? Well, hell, considering that you got up off Steve Wilkes after 1 year, so the Bidwell, Michael, I think his dad, I think his son is Michael.
Yep.
I believe they'll get up off it.
Yeah, they might. I mean, it's starting to feel it's heading in that direction where it's starting to feel like we got to start anew.
I just think, Skip, not to get too far off track, but it just seems like the relationship between the head coach and the player seems to be, I don't know, the way I see Kyler, I can honestly say I've never seen a quarterback speak to the head coach or coordinator like I've seen Kyler say some of the things that he said to I forget the head coach name.
For Kingsbury?
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
I can't recall in my 14 years.
No.
To see a quarterback speak to him like that.
Not quite like that.
And calm the F down. Calm the F.
You know, I used to see Marino yell at the young Shula. He was playing for Don, but the son was the coordinator.
Yeah.
Was it David?
David.
Yeah, David was the son. And I would see Marino yell at him like that, but it wasn't at Don Shula.
Right. No. And so that's who normally gets the brunt of it, Skip.
Yes.
Your position coach or somebody, the coordinator. It just so happens the coordinator happens to be the head coach. So he's getting full on. But I think Kyler, I'm gonna trust the young man that he's gonna grow, he's gonna mature, and he knows he's gonna have to, Skip, because there have been some of his former players that take shots at him from a distance. Now,
Peterson.
Yeah, and so he's like, hey. And so it's not a good look that former players that know you, that was in that locker room, have something negative to say about you. Now, not all players are going to get along with everybody, but that was a very damning, because Pat Peterson come with the utmost credentials, the utmost credibility. So I think, Kyler, don't lash out. Just say, you know what? They see something that's not sitting right with them.
Yeah.
I need to change a little bit of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Hit this rehab, hit this film room, work on myself as a player and a person.
Yeah.
I believe in 2023, now it's probably going to be half the season, but I believe he can get back to what he once was.
I totally agree. My only issue with Kyler, and I've been a huge fan of his since his days at Oklahoma, started at Texas A&M, which was odd because it didn't work, and then he winds up with Lincoln Riley.
So he might have got one of them NIL deals before they was NIL official.
You well could be right. There's been a long history at the school I grew up loving of having quote-unquote NIL deals back to the 1970s.
Yeah,
right?
y'all had them too.
We had them too. But my only issue with Kyler has been he's sort of a natural solo act. He stays to himself.
Right.
He sort of stays in his own head. And as you know, if you're going to be the face of a franchise, and just by the position you play, by almost default, you are the leader of the franchise.
You got to be Skip,
And you have to be a little more outward.
Yes.
You have to be more outgoing.
Almost presidential. You got to shake a lot of hands, kiss a lot of babies. That's just a figure of speech. But I'm saying, yes, Skip, you dealing with talking to hey, man, how y'all doing? What y'all do last night? You over to the linebackers. You over to the offensive line, receive, and things of that nature. Yeah, you're a lot of different things when you're the quarterback and you're the leader of the team. It's hard to be by you. It's hard to be a standalone and play that position.
So maybe this time away will allow him to grow and see better what he needs to become.
Yeah.
He needs to come out a little bit more to the team, because he stays in his own head because he's so gifted. He sort of plays his own game.
Marks to his own
and as
beat,
you know, he loves to play video games, and it's a solo thing.
Right.
You're alone in your head. You might be playing somebody in India or somewhere, but you're actually in your room by yourself. And this game, as you know, it requires lots of help and teammates.
And it requires a lot of study, a lot of focus. Skip, and I get it. I guess the video games, in order for you to get good, you have to play all the time. That's like anything. In order to get good at it, you got to do it a lot. It's not something like, you know what, it's football season. I need to devote all my time to studying and playing football. Forget those video games and pick it up. It's kind of like golf. If you're a golfer, you don't sit golf down and be off on Tuesday, or every chance you get, you doing something, chipping, putting.
That is the biggest problem with golf. If you don't play it, you get worse.
And I guess with video, hand-eye coordination and reactionary skills, if you don't do it all the time, you get worse. And these guys want to get good.
Well, in the end, we both wish him the best.
Absolutely.
I hated to see it. I hate it for your game. I hate to see especially quarterbacks go down, because I hate it for ESPN's sake last night. The air goes out of the game.
Yeah.
And this is just me. I believe Arizona would have won that game if Tyler was
I do too. So do I.
Healthy.
So do I.
Right?
So do I, yes.
And so Belichick and company, Mac Jones, they escaped.
Yes.
Whew.
Colt McCoy taking over for the Cardinals, guys. He got sacked 6 times last night. Probably not feeling the best this morning. Okay, so let's talk about your Cowboys a little bit. Does their latest signing mean they've moved on from OBJ? Plus, are the Lakers primed to upset the Celtics tonight? It's going to be a showdown.
Definitely.
We've got it all
I don't know
next
about
on Undisputed.